Most people have been told that protein powder is the gold standard for building muscle, maintaining strength, and recovering after workouts. It's in every gym bag, every fitness influencer's pantry, and almost every diet plan that promises fast muscle gains. But what if I told you that most protein powders are not only overrated but may actually be working against you? What if the very thing you thought was helping your body was quietly creating inflammation, damaging your liver, and disrupting your hormones? This isn't about opinion or hype. It's about what actually happens inside your body when you consume these ultra-processed products day after day. Here's the truth most companies won't tell you. Protein powders are highly refined industrial products, not natural foods. They go through intense heating, chemical isolation, and artificial flavoring processes to make something that vaguely resembles food. In doing so, many of the natural cofactors and enzymes that your body needs to properly absorb and utilize protein are completely destroyed. You're left with a lifeless powder that your body struggles to recognize as nutrition. Imagine eating something that looks like protein but acts more like stress on your liver. That's what most commercial protein powders are doing. When you consume these powders, you might feel full or get a quick energy boost, but inside your system, something different is happening. The oxidized fats and denatured proteins in these products generate free radicals, unstable molecules that damage your cells. These free radicals trigger inflammation throughout the body, especially in the liver and muscles. Chronic inflammation doesn't just make you tired, it slows down your ability to repair and rebuild muscle tissue. It's like trying to renovate a house while there's still a fire burning inside. It just doesn't work efficiently. Most people who drink protein shakes daily don't realize how many artificial ingredients they're consuming. Sucralose, acesulfame potassium, maltodextrin, and synthetic flavorings are common additives. These chemicals alter your gut microbiome, kill beneficial bacteria, and increase insulin resistance. You might not feel it right away, but over time, your body starts to respond differently. Your muscles become less responsive to protein, your recovery slows down, and your metabolism weakens. You may even gain fat while losing muscle, despite thinking you're doing everything right. Another major issue with these powders is how they affect your insulin levels. Many protein powders spike insulin just like sugar does, especially when they contain whey isolates or added sweeteners. High insulin not only prevents fat burning, but also tells your body to store more energy as fat. This hormonal imbalance leads to fatigue cravings and an inability to maintain muscle tone. If you've ever wondered why you're putting in the effort, working out, eating clean, drinking shakes, and still not seeing results, insulin might be the missing piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about something even more concerning: liver stress. Your liver is your body's main detoxification organ, and it's responsible for processing everything you eat, including protein. When you flood your system with synthetic or denatured proteins, the liver has to work overtime to break them down and remove the byproducts. Over time, this can contribute to fatty liver, sluggish metabolism, and hormone imbalances. Instead of supporting your health, protein powders can quietly drain your energy and slow your progress. Now think about this from a biological perspective. Your body evolved to recognize and thrive on natural whole foods, foods that contain proteins, fats, and nutrients in perfect balance. When you eat eggs, fish, or cottage cheese, you're giving your body not just amino acids, but also the cofactors, enzymes, and minerals that help those amino acids do their job. Protein powders strip all that away. You're left with isolated compounds, divorced from their natural companions. It's like trying to run a car engine on gasoline without oil. It might start, but it won't last long. And here's something that surprises many people. Studies show that muscle protein synthesis, the process of building new muscle tissue, isn't just about the amount of protein you eat. It's about how your body absorbs and uses that protein. Natural foods provide a slower, steadier release of amino acids, allowing your muscles to repair consistently throughout the day. Protein powders, on the other hand, dump a large amount of amino acids into your bloodstream all at once, leading to a rapid rise and fall. This spike and crash effect means much of that protein is wasted or converted into glucose, which can raise blood sugar and promote fat gain. Many fitness enthusiasts also overlook the importance of digestive health in protein absorption. A healthy gut is essential for breaking down protein and absorbing nutrients efficiently. But artificial ingredients, emulsifiers, and fillers in protein powders disrupt the gut lining and kill beneficial bacteria. Over time, this leads to bloating, poor digestion, and even nutrient deficiencies. So, while you might be consuming more protein on paper, your body could be absorbing less of it. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Some companies claim their protein powders are natural, organic, or plant-based. But even plant-based powders often go through chemical extraction processes that strip away most of their nutritional value. They may contain anti-nutrients like phytic acid or lectins that interfere with mineral absorption. So even though it sounds healthier, your body still has to fight to extract what little nutrition is left. Let's pause for a moment and think about why people use protein powders in the first place. It's about convenience, right? You can't always prepare a meal, so a quick shake feels easy. But convenience shouldn't come at the cost of your long-term health. Real food is also convenient when you plan ahead. Boiled eggs, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, or even a handful of nuts provide far more nutritional value without damaging your liver or spiking your insulin. The key is to shift your mindset from quick fix to quality fuel. You see, your body is incredibly intelligent. It knows how to heal, rebuild, and maintain itself when given the right inputs. But it can't do that when bombarded with synthetic compounds. When you feed your body real whole foods, you're not just building muscle. You're supporting your hormones, your brain, your gut, and your longevity. You're building strength from the inside out, not just chasing numbers on a scale or a supplement label. Think of your health like a garden. You can't just throw chemicals on it and expect it to grow naturally. You have to nourish the soil, provide real nutrients, and let nature do its job. Protein powders are the chemical shortcut. Real food is the sunlight, water, and minerals your body truly needs. Once you understand this, everything changes. Your energy improves, your digestion feels lighter, and your muscle tone becomes firmer and more natural. If you've been using protein powder for a while, you don't have to quit overnight. Start by replacing one shake a day with a whole food option. Notice how you feel over the next few weeks. Most people experience better recovery, deeper sleep, improved digestion, and more stable energy. That's your body's way of thanking you for giving it real nutrition again. So the next time you reach for that shiny tub of protein powder, take a second to ask yourself, does this come from nature or from a lab? Because your body doesn't thrive on chemistry, it thrives on biology. And the closer you stay to what nature designed, the stronger, leaner, and healthier you become. When people think about losing muscle as they age, they often shrug and say, well, that's just part of getting older. But what if I told you that this isn't really true? What if muscle loss isn't about aging at all, but about nutrient deficiency, hormonal imbalance, and metabolic dysfunction? The condition we call sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss, is not an inevitable fate. It's a biological warning sign. Your body isn't breaking down because of time. It's breaking down because it's not being nourished properly at the cellular level. And the good news, you can reverse it naturally if you understand what's really going on. The first thing to realize is that muscle loss is not just about having less protein. It's about your body's ability to use the protein you already consume. As you get older, your digestive enzymes slow down, your stomach acid decreases, and your cells become less responsive to anabolic signals, the messages that tell your body to grow and repair muscle. So, even if you eat the right foods or drink protein shakes, your body may not be absorbing or utilizing those amino acids effectively. This is why so many people complain that they eat well, but still feel weak, tired, and less toned than before. The problem isn't what you eat, it's what your body can't process. Think of your muscles as a savings account. When you're young, your body easily deposits protein into that account, repairing, growing, and maintaining muscle tissue. But as you age, inflammation, poor digestion, and insulin resistance act like hidden fees, constantly withdrawing from that account. You start losing more than you're saving. Over time, the balance drops and your muscles shrink. That's what sarcopenia looks like from the inside out. One of the main drivers of this process is insulin resistance, which most people don't even realize they have. When your insulin levels stay high due to too many refined carbs, stress, or snacking, your body can't properly use amino acids to build muscle. Instead, those amino acids get redirected toward glucose production or stored as fat. That's why people with high insulin often lose muscle mass even if they eat enough protein. The cells simply can't receive the signal to repair. In other words, sarcopenia is often a symptom of metabolic damage, not aging. Let's add another piece to the puzzle: nutrient deficiency. You can't build muscle without micronutrients, especially magnesium, potassium, vitamin D, zinc, and B vitamins. These act as the spark plugs for protein synthesis and energy production. But because our modern diets are depleted of minerals and many people have poor gut absorption, these nutrients never reach the cells in adequate amounts. Without them, muscle building pathways stay turned off. It's like having a powerful engine but no ignition key. That's why people who eat processed foods, skip vegetables, or rely on supplements instead of real food often notice faster muscle decline and lower strength, no matter how much protein they consume. Now, let's talk about stress, because this is another silent destroyer of muscle tissue. When your body is under chronic stress, whether emotional, physical, or environmental, it releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol is catabolic, which means it breaks down tissue to release energy. And unfortunately, one of its favorite targets is your muscle. It converts amino acids from your muscles into glucose for quick fuel. So if you live in a constant state of stress, your body is literally feeding on your muscle mass. You might be eating enough, but you're still shrinking from the inside out. This is why sleep, relaxation, and balanced lifestyle habits are as important for muscle retention as diet. Growth hormone and testosterone, two critical hormones for building and maintaining muscle, are released mainly during deep sleep. If you're not sleeping well, your body isn't repairing. You might wake up feeling stiff, weak, or unrefreshed because your body never entered that deep anabolic state where true recovery happens. People also underestimate how inflammation affects muscle loss. Chronic inflammation, often triggered by sugar, seed oils, processed foods, and even excessive exercise, damages mitochondria, the tiny energy factories in your cells. Without strong mitochondria, your muscles can't produce energy efficiently, which leads to weakness, fatigue, and tissue breakdown. So while exercise is essential, overtraining without proper nutrition and recovery can accelerate sarcopenia instead of preventing it. Here's something that might surprise you. Building muscle has less to do with lifting heavy weights and more to do with your metabolic environment. You could work out intensely, but if your hormones, insulin, and nutrient levels are off, your muscles won't grow. On the other hand, when your diet and metabolism are balanced, even light exercise, such as resistance bands or walking uphill, can trigger powerful muscle growth responses. That's how the body works when it's in harmony. It becomes efficient. So, how do we restore that harmony? It begins with real food, not processed shakes or supplements. Your body doesn't recognize synthetic isolates as nourishment. It recognizes natural proteins combined with fats, minerals, and enzymes that help absorption. Foods like eggs, wild-caught fish, and especially full-fat cottage cheese or curd provide complete amino acid profiles with built-in cofactors that help your body actually use the protein. When you eat these foods, you're not just feeding your muscles. You're activating your body's natural muscle, preserving mechanisms. Let's not forget the importance of movement in preventing sarcopenia. Muscles operate on a use it or lose it principle. When you move, stretch, and lift, even light weights, your muscles signal your brain to produce anabolic hormones. But when you're sedentary, your brain assumes you no longer need that tissue and starts to recycle it for energy. Simple daily resistance combined with proper nutrition and balanced hormones can literally reverse years of muscle loss. Now picture this: two people of the same age eating the same amount of protein. One builds muscle, the other loses it. What's the difference? The first person has low insulin, healthy mitochondria, good sleep, and adequate nutrients. The second has inflammation, stress, poor digestion, and insulin resistance. This isn't genetics, it's chemistry. And the beauty of chemistry is that it can be changed through lifestyle. Most people also overlook hydration and electrolyte balance. Muscle tissue is about 75% water, and every contraction and repair process requires proper hydration. When you're low on potassium or magnesium, your muscles can't contract properly. You may feel fatigue, cramps, or weakness, all signs that your cells are dehydrated or missing key minerals. Without fixing this, no amount of protein will help. That's why it's essential to consume mineral-rich foods like leafy greens, avocados, and sea salt to keep your muscle cells hydrated and functional. When you put all of this together, nutrient sufficiency, hormone balance, digestive health, and controlled insulin, you start to see that muscle loss isn't a natural part of aging. It's a metabolic adaptation to an environment that no longer supports growth. When you fix that environment, your body responds immediately. People in their 60s, 70s, even 80s can rebuild muscle, increase strength, and feel decades younger. Your body doesn't stop working. It just needs the right information to turn back on. So, forget the myth that sarcopenia is something you can't control. It's not your age, it's your nutrition, your metabolism, and your recovery habits. Once you nourish your cells the right way, muscle preservation and growth become effortless, natural, and sustainable. The key isn't to eat more protein, it's to make sure your body can actually use what you eat. And when you do that, you'll find that aging doesn't mean losing muscle. It means gaining wisdom in how to keep it. Most people overlook one of the most powerful natural foods for preserving and building muscle: cottage cheese. It doesn't look flashy, it's not sold in shiny tubs, and it doesn't promise miracle gains on the label, but it does something protein powders can't. It feeds your muscles slowly, steadily, and intelligently. The secret lies in how nature designed it: a perfect balance of protein, fat, minerals, and enzymes that work synergistically with your body's rhythm. If you've ever wondered how to stop muscle loss overnight or enhance recovery while you sleep, cottage cheese might be the single most effective underrated food you could add to your diet. Here's why this humble food is so powerful. The protein in cottage cheese is primarily casein, which digests very slowly. Unlike whey, which floods your bloodstream with amino acids in a short burst, casein releases its amino acids gradually over several hours. This slow release effect is incredibly important for muscle preservation, especially during fasting periods like sleep. When you go hours without food, your body begins to break down muscle tissue for energy. But if you have casein in your system, your muscles are constantly being supplied with the amino acids they need to stay strong and repair themselves. It's like giving your body a time-released nutrient drip throughout the night, steady, balanced, and sustainable. Think about it this way: most people spend about 1/3 of their lives asleep. During that time, your body goes into deep repair mode, rebuilding tissue, regenerating cells, and producing growth hormone. But if your body runs out of amino acids during the night, it starts breaking down your muscles to fuel those processes. This is where cottage cheese becomes a game changer. Having a small portion before bed keeps your body in an anabolic muscle building state all night long. You're literally feeding your muscles while you sleep without needing any supplements or powders. One of the biggest misconceptions about muscle maintenance is that it's all about what you do in the gym. But muscle growth and recovery happen outside the gym, when you rest, sleep, and nourish your body properly. Cottage cheese supports this natural cycle perfectly. Its slow digesting protein keeps your body from going into a catabolic state overnight, while the healthy fats it contains stabilize blood sugar and enhance hormone production. You're giving your body the perfect nighttime environment for growth hormone to work efficiently. Now, what makes casein truly unique is how it behaves once it reaches your stomach. It forms a soft gel-like substance that slows gastric emptying. This not only keeps you fuller for longer, but ensures a consistent release of amino acids into your bloodstream. Instead of a quick spike and crash, your body receives a steady flow of building blocks for several hours. This gentle rhythm mirrors how your body naturally prefers to digest food, slowly, efficiently, and without stress on the liver or pancreas. Cottage cheese also contains a specific amino acid called glutamine, which plays a vital role in muscle repair and immune function. Glutamine helps reduce muscle soreness, supports gut health, and boosts recovery after physical or metabolic stress. When you combine this with the rich calcium and phosphorus content in cottage cheese, you get a food that not only supports muscle structure, but strengthens your bones and connective tissues at the same time. That's critical because healthy muscles are only as strong as the framework that supports them. What's remarkable about cottage cheese is that it's not just a protein source, it's a nutrient system. It contains B vitamins like B12, riboflavin, and niacin, which are essential for energy production at the cellular level. These vitamins act as catalysts, helping your mitochondria, your cell's energy factories, convert food into usable energy. This means when you eat cottage cheese, you're not just getting protein for your muscles, you're improving your body's overall energy efficiency. That's why many people who add cottage cheese to their evening routine notice better energy, faster recovery, and improved sleep quality. And let's not ignore the importance of the fats in full-fat cottage cheese. These fats are not the enemy. They're essential for hormone balance. Testosterone, growth hormone, and other anabolic hormones rely on healthy dietary fats for production. Low-fat or fat-free versions remove this crucial component, leaving the body less capable of generating the very hormones that preserve muscle. So when you eat full-fat cottage cheese, you're not just feeding your muscles, you're supporting the hormonal foundation that keeps them healthy. Another hidden benefit of this natural food is its impact on insulin and blood sugar regulation. Because of its fat-protein balance and slow digestion, cottage cheese has a very low glycemic effect. It won't cause blood sugar spikes or insulin surges like most protein powders or carbohydrate-heavy snacks do. This matters because high insulin levels interfere with growth hormone release and block fat burning. Cottage cheese, on the other hand, keeps your insulin stable, allowing your body to remain in a fat-burning and muscle-preserving state for hours. If you're someone who struggles with muscle loss, fatigue, or slow recovery, start looking at how your body is being fed during your rest periods. Your muscles don't just need fuel during workouts. They need protection and nourishment during sleep. A cup of organic grass-fed cottage cheese before bed can help preserve lean muscle, prevent nighttime breakdown, and promote recovery in a way that no synthetic powder can. It's a simple change that can completely shift how your body feels and performs. Many athletes from the pre-supplement era understood this principle long before the fitness industry turned to powders. They would eat cottage cheese or curd before bed because they noticed better muscle tone, improved endurance, and less soreness in the morning. These were not coincidences, they were the result of real physiological benefits. Cottage cheese works in alignment with your body's natural hormonal cycles, something artificial protein isolates can never replicate. There's also an element of gut health that often gets overlooked. The natural fermentation process of cottage cheese provides beneficial bacteria and enzymes that help support digestion and nutrient absorption. A healthy gut means better protein utilization and less inflammation. Many people who switch from powders to natural, cultured proteins like cottage cheese notice improvements in digestion, less bloating, and better nutrient absorption overall. When your gut is functioning well, your muscles thrive because they're finally getting the amino acids and minerals they've been missing. The science behind this food's muscle-preserving effect is solid, but the experience is even more convincing. People who eat cottage cheese regularly, especially in the evening, often report waking up with better muscle tone and a leaner look. That's because their body stayed in repair mode overnight instead of breaking down tissue for fuel. It's a silent transformation that happens while you rest. Your muscles feel fuller, your joints feel stronger, and your energy remains more stable throughout the day. The timing of consumption matters too. Eating cottage cheese an hour or so before bed gives your body time to begin digesting and releasing amino acids right as you enter deep sleep. This aligns perfectly with the natural surge of growth hormone that occurs during the first few sleep cycles. You're essentially amplifying your body's own repair process by supplying it with the exact fuel it needs, right when it needs it most. What's even more fascinating is that this simple food has stood the test of time. Long before protein supplements flooded the market, bodybuilders, athletes, and even doctors recommended cottage cheese for muscle recovery and metabolic health. Today, with all our advanced nutrition science, it turns out they were right. Sometimes, the simplest, most natural foods are the ones that deliver the most profound results. If you want to preserve your muscle, recover faster, and strengthen your body without relying on artificial powders or complicated regimens, look to what nature already designed. Cottage cheese doesn't just feed your muscles, it communicates with your body's systems in the way real food was meant to. It's not a quick fix, it's a long-term strategy for resilience, strength, and vitality. When you start using food as information rather than just fuel, your body responds with renewed energy and strength. That's the quiet, consistent power of nature's own protein source, working with your body, not against it. When we talk about building or preserving muscle, most people immediately think about protein. But what they often forget is that muscle health isn't built on protein alone. It's built on the synergy of nutrients, the teamwork between protein, minerals, and fats that allows your body to actually use what you consume. Cottage cheese isn't just a source of protein, it's a living, nutrient-rich matrix designed by nature to feed your muscles, bones, and metabolism at the same time. And within that creamy texture lies a trio of powerful nutrients: calcium, conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, and B vitamins, each playing a unique role in maintaining the strength, energy, and balance your body needs to thrive. Let's start with calcium, a mineral most people associate with bones, but its role in muscle health is even more profound. Every single time your muscle contracts, whether it's lifting a weight, walking upstairs, or even just holding your posture, it relies on calcium. When your brain sends a signal for movement, calcium floods into your muscle cells, triggering contraction. Without sufficient calcium, your muscles simply can't perform efficiently. But it doesn't stop there. Calcium also regulates the enzymes responsible for energy production within the muscle fibers. This means when calcium is in balance, your muscles not only work harder, they recover faster. That's why calcium deficiency often shows up as fatigue, muscle cramps, or weakness long before it ever affects your bones. Now, here's something that might surprise you. Calcium alone can't do its job properly without the right supporting nutrients, and cottage cheese provides those naturally. It contains phosphorus and magnesium, two minerals that work hand in hand with calcium to keep it active inside your cells. This perfect ratio is something that synthetic supplements often fail to achieve. You can take a calcium pill and still be deficient where it matters, inside your muscle tissue, because it lacks the cofactors needed for absorption and activation. But when calcium comes from natural sources like cottage cheese, it arrives in its complete biological package, ready for your body to use efficiently. Then comes CLA's conjugated linoleic acid, a unique fatty acid found in the milk of grass-fed animals. CLA is one of those hidden gems in nutrition that quietly reshapes your metabolism from the inside out. It helps your body use stored fat for energy, making your muscle fibers leaner and more defined. But what's even more fascinating is how CLA interacts with your muscle cells. It improves the way your cells handle insulin and glucose, which means better nutrient delivery directly into your muscles. When your cells become more insulin sensitive, the amino acids and minerals you eat can actually get inside the muscle instead of being stored as fat. This makes CLA a kind of metabolic unlocking agent, allowing your body to rebuild muscle more effectively while staying lean. Research has shown that people who consume CLA regularly tend to have better body composition, more muscle, less fat, and improved endurance. And unlike synthetic fat burners or high-stimulant products, CLA works in harmony with your body's natural hormonal system. It encourages a mild but steady increase in fat oxidation and helps prevent muscle breakdown, especially during times of calorie restriction or fasting. This means if you're trying to maintain muscle while losing fat, CLA-rich foods like cottage cheese become one of the smartest additions you can make to your diet. But the real magic happens when you add B vitamins into the picture. These are the spark plugs of your metabolism, the nutrients that convert the food you eat into cellular energy. Without B vitamins, even the best sources of protein and fat can't be utilized effectively. Cottage cheese naturally contains several key B vitamins, especially B12, riboflavin, B2, and niacin B3, and each plays a different but interconnected role. B12 helps produce red blood cells, which transport oxygen to your muscles. More oxygen means more endurance and faster recovery. Riboflavin supports the enzymes that break down protein into usable amino acids, ensuring that the protein you eat doesn't go to waste. Niacin helps regulate cholesterol and improve circulation, keeping your blood vessels flexible and your muscle tissue nourished. When these B vitamins work together, they form a powerful network that keeps your energy levels stable, your muscles fueled, and your metabolism efficient. This is what's known as nutrient synergy, where the presence of one nutrient enhances the effectiveness of others. You can't isolate these effects in a lab powder or pill because nature designed them to function as a system. Cottage cheese is one of those rare foods that naturally provides that system intact. It's also important to understand that these nutrients don't just build muscle, they protect it. Inflammation is one of the biggest enemies of muscle preservation. Whether it's caused by stress, poor diet, or environmental toxins, inflammation weakens your tissues and makes it harder for your body to repair damage. Calcium, CLA, and B vitamins each play a role in reducing inflammation at the cellular level. Calcium helps control nerve signaling and muscle tension. CLA decreases pro-inflammatory fat molecules, and B vitamins support the methylation processes that neutralize harmful compounds. Together, they create a cellular environment where repair outpaces breakdown, a key factor in preventing age-related muscle loss. Many people who experience muscle stiffness or fatigue after exercise don't realize that their muscles might not be getting the right balance of these nutrients. They reach for more protein shakes or caffeine. But the problem isn't lack of protein or energy. It's a lack of nutrient activation. Without the right minerals and vitamins, your muscles can't effectively turn protein into power. It's like owning a luxury car, but never changing the oil or maintaining the engine. The fuel is there, but the system that uses it is sluggish. Once you restore the right nutrients through real food, that system wakes up, and your strength, endurance, and vitality return naturally. Here's another fascinating point: calcium and CLA work synergistically to influence fat metabolism and muscle density. When calcium levels in your cells are balanced, your body is better at mobilizing fat for energy. At the same time, CLA improves how your body partitions nutrients, directing more calories toward muscle repair rather than fat storage. The result: a leaner, stronger body without extreme dieting or overtraining. This is why people who include natural, full-fat dairy in their diets often maintain better muscle tone and lower body fat compared to those who consume processed, low-fat alternatives. The combination of healthy fats and minerals creates an environment where the body naturally prefers muscle over fat. The B vitamins, particularly B12 and B6, also play an essential role in maintaining healthy nerves that control muscle contraction. Without optimal nerve function, even strong muscles can feel weak or uncoordinated. These vitamins help your nervous system communicate with your muscle fibers efficiently, allowing smoother, stronger movements. This is one of the reasons why deficiency in B12 can cause not only fatigue but also a loss of muscle control and coordination. Cottage cheese provides these vitamins in their natural, bioavailable form, meaning your body doesn't have to work hard to convert or absorb them. All of this paints a bigger picture. Real food like cottage cheese doesn't just give you isolated nutrients, it gives you nutrient intelligence. The combination of calcium, CLA, and B vitamins speaks the same language as your body's cells. It sends signals to repair, strengthen, and balance. That's something synthetic supplements can't replicate. They might provide quantity, but they lack biological context. Your body understands whole food nutrition because it evolved with it. When you consume these nutrients together in their natural ratios, your cells respond immediately, energy production improves, recovery accelerates, and muscle tissue thrives. If you think about it, this is how the human body was designed to function. Not through isolated chemicals, but through interconnected systems of nutrition. That's the quiet genius of foods like cottage cheese. While the modern market is flooded with powders and pills promising fast results, this simple, natural food continues to outperform them because it works in harmony with your biology, not against it. You don't need to flood your system with artificial protein when you can activate your body's own muscle, building potential through the right nutrient balance. What's truly remarkable is how quickly your body responds once you start nourishing it correctly. Within days, you can feel the difference in your energy and muscle tone. Within weeks, you notice your recovery improves, and fatigue becomes less frequent. That's not a placebo effect, it's your cells finally getting what they've been asking for. Calcium keeps your muscles firing properly, CLA helps you burn fat more efficiently, and B vitamins keep your metabolism humming smoothly. Together, they form the foundation of real, sustainable strength, the kind that doesn't fade with age or depend on artificial supplementation. Nature always provides the blueprint, it's just up to us to follow it. When you begin to understand the depth of synergy within natural foods like cottage cheese, you realize you're not just eating for calories, you're eating for communication, energy, and longevity. The power of these nutrients lies not in isolation but in cooperation, and that's the secret behind their lasting impact on muscle health and vitality. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to build or maintain muscle is ignoring the importance of hormonal balance. You can have the best diet, the highest quality protein, and a perfectly structured workout routine, but if your hormones are not functioning properly, your body will struggle to hold on to muscle. Hormones are the unseen directors of your body's physiology. They tell your cells when to grow, repair, and burn fat. And here's the fascinating truth. Your diet, especially the kind of natural food you choose, directly shapes your hormonal environment. Most people think of hormones as something that just declines with age, something inevitable. But what they don't realize is that the foods they eat can either accelerate that decline or slow it down dramatically. Every meal you eat sends a signal, either one that supports anabolic hormones like testosterone, growth hormone, and IGF-1, or one that suppresses them. Natural foods rich in specific nutrients can restore the sensitivity of these hormonal pathways, allowing your body to respond more effectively to signals for muscle growth and repair. And among these foods, certain natural dairy proteins and fats, like those found in cottage cheese, play an extraordinary role in keeping your hormones balanced and active. Let's start with insulin, often misunderstood, but incredibly important. Insulin isn't just about blood sugar. It's an anabolic hormone, meaning it helps your body build and preserve muscle tissue. However, this only works when insulin is controlled, not constantly spiked. Processed foods, refined carbs, and sugars cause repeated insulin surges that eventually desensitize your cells, leading to insulin resistance. When that happens, your muscles can't properly absorb amino acids, even if you're consuming enough protein. But when you eat a slow-digesting, natural food like cottage cheese, it produces a gentle and sustained insulin response, just enough to shuttle amino acids into your muscles without overstimulating the hormone. This steady release helps preserve muscle and maintain blood sugar stability, two factors that are critical for preventing muscle breakdown. Another key hormone affected by nutrition is growth hormone GH. This is your body's ultimate repair and rejuvenation hormone. It's what helps you build lean tissue, burn fat, and maintain vitality. But as we age, growth hormone levels naturally decline, and certain lifestyle factors, especially poor sleep, stress, and high-carb diets, make that decline happen faster. Here's the interesting part: the amino acid profile in foods like cottage cheese naturally promotes growth hormone release, especially when consumed at night. Cottage cheese contains casein, a slow-digesting protein that provides a steady stream of amino acids while you sleep, supporting muscle repair and helping the body sustain higher GH levels throughout the night. That's one of the reasons why athletes and even bodybuilders use it as their last meal before bed. It's not just about protein, it's about supporting your natural hormonal rhythm. Now let's talk about testosterone, a hormone that's just as vital for women as it is for men when it comes to maintaining lean muscle and energy. Low testosterone levels are one of the main reasons older adults experience muscle loss, low motivation, and increased fat storage. What's remarkable is how diet can influence testosterone production at a cellular level. Testosterone synthesis begins with cholesterol, the building block of all steroid hormones. Unfortunately, years of fear around dietary fat have led many people to drastically reduce their fat intake, unintentionally cutting off their body's supply of this vital raw material. The healthy fats found in natural dairy, particularly from grass-fed sources, provide the precursors your body needs to produce testosterone naturally and efficiently. Cottage cheese and similar whole food dairy products also contain zinc and vitamin D, two nutrients that directly support testosterone synthesis. Zinc acts as a cofactor in the enzymatic process that converts cholesterol into testosterone, while vitamin D helps regulate that process and improve the hormone's bioavailability. Studies show that individuals with higher zinc and vitamin D levels tend to have significantly better testosterone profiles and leaner body composition. So, when you consume a food that provides both the building materials and the cofactors for hormone production, you're doing far more than eating for muscle. You're eating to activate your body's own anabolic potential. Then there's cortisol, the stress hormone that often works against you. Cortisol breaks down muscle tissue for energy, especially when blood sugar levels fluctuate or when the body perceives chronic stress. High cortisol not only hinders muscle growth, it makes you tired, inflamed, and insulin resistant. The key to lowering cortisol isn't just about meditation or supplements, it's about stabilizing your blood sugar and providing your body with consistent fuel. The slow digesting protein and fats in cottage cheese do exactly that. They prevent sudden spikes and crashes in blood sugar, keeping cortisol under control naturally. When cortisol drops, testosterone and growth hormone rise because these hormones work in opposition. When one goes up, the other goes down. By eating nutrient-dense, balanced foods, you're effectively shifting your hormonal environment toward an anabolic, muscle-preserving state. Another hormone deeply involved in muscle metabolism is IGF-1's insulin, like growth factor 1. It's often called the messenger hormone of growth hormone because it carries out many of its anabolic effects, stimulating muscle protein synthesis, promoting recovery, and preventing muscle wasting. IGF-1 levels are heavily influenced by the quality of protein in your diet. When your body digests complete proteins like casein or whey found in natural dairy, it triggers a mild increase in IGF-1, supporting continuous tissue repair and regeneration. But unlike synthetic protein powders, which create rapid short-lived spikes, natural foods release amino acids more slowly, allowing IGF-1 to stay active for longer. This extended anabolic window means your muscles spend more time rebuilding than breaking down, a crucial advantage as you age. Let's not forget about thyroid hormones, which regulate your metabolism and energy production. A sluggish thyroid can make it nearly impossible to gain or maintain muscle because your metabolic rate slows down, protein synthesis decreases, and fatigue sets in. Nutrients like iodine, selenium, and vitamin B12 are essential for proper thyroid function, and cottage cheese happens to be a natural source of these. When your thyroid is functioning optimally, your energy improves, your metabolism becomes more efficient, and your muscles respond better to exercise and nutrition. That's why people who start balancing their diet with natural, nutrient-dense foods often report feeling more energetic and noticing faster muscle recovery even without major changes to their training. It's also worth mentioning how hormones interact in a delicate feedback loop. For example, when insulin is stable, cortisol remains low. When cortisol is low, testosterone and growth hormones stay elevated. When these anabolic hormones are active, IGF-1 increases, leading to greater muscle synthesis and fat burning. This harmony doesn't come from supplements. It comes from eating in a way that honors your body's natural design. The real goal isn't to manipulate hormones artificially, but to create the right environment where your body naturally optimizes them. And that environment is built through nutrient balance, proper timing, and real food. Think about this for a moment. Your hormones are not your enemies. They're your body's internal communication system. They respond instantly to the quality of your nutrition. Every time you choose a natural, balanced meal instead of a processed one, you're essentially sending a message to your endocrine system that says, repair, grow, protect. And when you repeat that message consistently, your body starts to listen. You feel it in your energy, you see it in your muscle tone, and you notice it in your mood and focus. That's not coincidence, that's chemistry aligning with biology. It's easy to underestimate just how sensitive the human body is to nutrient signals. Even small deficiencies in zinc, magnesium, or vitamin D can throw your hormonal system off balance, leading to fatigue, weight gain, or loss of lean mass. But by focusing on nutrient-rich foods like cottage cheese, loaded with bioavailable minerals, amino acids, and healthy fats, you're ensuring that every hormonal pathway has what it needs to function properly. The result is a body that naturally maintains muscle, burns fat efficiently, and stays resilient against stress. Imagine waking up in the morning with steady energy, strong muscles, and a clear mind, not because of caffeine or supplements, but because your hormones are finally in sync. That's the power of real food. You're not just feeding your muscles, you're fueling the entire hormonal network that supports them. And when those systems work together, your body transforms from the inside out. This is what most people miss when they chase quick fixes or rely on processed protein powders. The secret isn't found in isolation, it's found in restoring the natural harmony between food, hormones, and muscle. That's why focusing on hormonal balance through nutrition isn't just a strategy. It's a lifestyle, it's the quiet, consistent approach that keeps your body strong, your metabolism active, and your energy steady year after year. The body doesn't need more artificial stimulation, it needs nourishment, balance, and rhythm. When you give it that, your hormones will do exactly what they were designed to do, keep you youthful, strong, and full of life. There's one powerful factor that most people underestimate when it comes to maintaining muscle and vitality, especially as they age, and that is digestion and absorption. You could be eating the healthiest foods in the world, but if your digestive system isn't functioning efficiently, your body can't extract the nutrients it needs to repair, rebuild, and energize your muscles. It's not just about what you eat, it's about what your body can use. And here's the truth that surprises many people. Muscle loss often begins in the gut, long before it shows up in the mirror. Your ability to digest, absorb, and metabolize nutrients determines how effectively your body preserves lean tissue and fights fatigue. When digestion weakens with age, the first casualty is often protein absorption. The stomach produces less hydrochloric acid, which means you can't break down protein into amino acids as efficiently. Amino acids are the building blocks of muscle, neurotransmitters, and even hormones. So when protein digestion falters, everything from muscle strength to mood and metabolism starts to decline. You might still be eating the same foods, but you're not getting the same benefits because your digestive fire is fading. This is one of the biggest reasons older adults experience muscle wasting even when they're consuming adequate protein. Here's where natural foods like cottage cheese have an incredible advantage over synthetic supplements. Cottage cheese contains casein protein, which digests slowly and steadily, giving your body time to absorb and utilize every bit of amino acid it contains. Unlike fast, digesting protein powders that can overwhelm your system and cause bloating or incomplete absorption, the natural enzymes and fats in cottage cheese create a controlled release of nutrients. This slow absorption rate keeps your blood amino acid levels stable for several hours, ensuring your muscles receive a constant supply of building material. That steady flow helps maintain muscle mass, improve recovery, and stabilize energy levels throughout the day or night. But digestion isn't just about breaking food down. It's about creating the right environment inside your gut for nutrients to be absorbed effectively. The gut lining is made up of millions of microscopic villi, tiny projections that increase surface area and allow nutrients to pass into the bloodstream. Over time, poor diet choices, stress, medications, and toxins can damage these villi, reducing your ability to absorb essential amino acids, minerals, and vitamins. When that happens, your body is essentially starving at the cellular level, no matter how much you eat. What makes natural dairy so beneficial here is that it contains bioactive compounds, like peptides and probiotics, that help nourish the gut lining and restore balance to the intestinal flora. The live cultures and enzymes present in certain fermented or raw dairy products work like small armies of helpers, improving digestion, supporting beneficial bacteria, and enhancing nutrient uptake. These probiotics also play a key role in reducing inflammation in the gut, which is critical for preventing leaky gut syndrome, a condition where the intestinal barrier becomes permeable, allowing toxins to leak into the bloodstream. Chronic inflammation from a leaky gut doesn't just affect digestion. It triggers systemic effects that break down muscle, suppress hormone production, and increase fatigue. When you repair your gut, you're not just improving digestion, you're protecting your muscles from hidden, silent inflammation that sabotages your progress. Digestive efficiency is also closely tied to your metabolic rate. The more efficiently your body can break down and absorb nutrients, the more energy you'll have available for muscle repair and cellular regeneration. When your digestive system is sluggish, your metabolism slows down as well, leading to fat accumulation and muscle loss. That's why people with digestive issues often feel tired and weaker, even when they're eating nutrient-rich meals. The key is not just eating healthy food, but helping your body digest it properly. And that's where certain natural foods excel. Cottage cheese, for example, contains lactoferrin, a natural compound that supports gut integrity and boosts immune function. It binds to iron and helps prevent the growth of harmful bacteria in the intestines while promoting the growth of beneficial ones. Lactoferrin has also been shown to help reduce inflammation and support tissue repair, exactly the kind of internal environment your muscles need to thrive. Combined with the natural calcium and phosphorus in cottage cheese, it helps maintain a healthy gut-muscle axis, a direct communication link between the digestive system and muscle metabolism. Scientists are now discovering that this connection is much stronger than previously believed. The state of your gut directly influences how your muscles respond to nutrients and exercise. Another often overlooked aspect is enzyme activity. Your digestive system relies on enzymes to break down proteins, fats, and carbohydrates into absorbable forms. As we age, our natural enzyme production declines, which leads to bloating, indigestion, and incomplete nutrient absorption. However, when you eat enzyme-rich foods, especially those that haven't been overprocessed, you help your body compensate for that loss. Cottage cheese provides naturally occurring enzymes that assist in protein digestion, helping you get more from what you eat without overtaxing your digestive system. These enzymes work quietly but efficiently, making sure that every bite counts. Let's not forget about the role of gut bacteria in muscle health. Your gut microbiome, the ecosystem of bacteria living in your intestines, has a profound impact on how your body metabolizes nutrients, regulates inflammation, and even produces certain vitamins like B12 and K2. A healthy microbiome helps your body make better use of the amino acids you consume, reduces inflammation that leads to muscle breakdown, and supports hormonal balance. But when the microbiome is out of balance, with too many harmful bacteria and not enough beneficial ones, it creates a toxic environment that drains your energy and weakens your muscles over time. Natural dairy foods that contain probiotics or prebiotics help repopulate your gut with beneficial bacteria, restoring that internal harmony. There's also a critical link between digestive health and stress levels. The gut and brain communicate constantly through the vagus nerve, a connection often called the gut-brain axis. When you're stressed, your body diverts energy away from digestion and towards survival functions, which means your stomach produces less acid and enzymes. Over time, chronic stress can shut down your digestive efficiency, leading to nutrient deficiencies that impact muscle health, sleep, and recovery. By eating calming, nutrient-dense foods that are easy to digest, you take pressure off the system and allow your body to restore balance naturally. Foods like cottage cheese are mild on the stomach, rich in amino acids, and help stabilize blood sugar, all of which reduce stress signals to the brain and support better digestion in return. The synergy between digestion and muscle health becomes even clearer when you look at the way amino acids are absorbed and distributed. After digestion, amino acids enter the bloodstream and are transported to tissues where they're needed for repair. But if your digestion is weak or your gut lining is compromised, fewer amino acids make it into circulation, meaning less material for muscle recovery. This is why someone can eat a high-protein diet yet still struggle to build or retain muscle. They're not absorbing enough of what they eat. Supporting your digestion ensures that your muscle cells are consistently nourished and that your recovery processes are running smoothly. Even hydration plays a massive role here. The digestive system requires adequate fluids to break down food and move nutrients efficiently. Calcium, magnesium, and potassium, all found in natural dairy, work together to maintain electrolyte balance and fluid distribution across your cells. This helps your digestive enzymes function properly and your muscles stay hydrated and pliable. When you're dehydrated, digestion slows, nutrient transport weakens, and muscles become more prone to cramping and fatigue. So, maintaining hydration through mineral-rich foods, not just water alone, is another critical step in supporting both digestion and muscle performance. What's fascinating is how quickly your body responds when digestion improves. Within a few days of optimizing gut function, people often notice better energy, fewer cravings, improved sleep, and more stable strength levels. That's because nutrients are finally being absorbed and utilized properly. It's like upgrading your body's internal wiring. Suddenly, everything works more efficiently. When your gut is healthy, your muscles stay fuller, stronger, and more resilient because your body is finally receiving what it needs to maintain balance and repair. So many people chase the next supplement, the next protein powder, or the next workout trend, believing that the secret lies outside of them. But in truth, it's often an inside job, restoring the natural systems your body already has. When you fix digestion, you fix everything downstream: energy, muscle strength, mood, and even longevity. Your gut is the control center, the silent partner that determines how well your body performs. By nourishing it with real, unprocessed, enzyme-rich foods like cottage cheese, you give your muscles the foundation they need to thrive. If there's one lesson to take away, it's that muscle strength doesn't just come from the gym. It starts in the gut. Every cell, every muscle fiber, every repair mechanism depends on the nutrients that pass through your digestive system. And when digestion works the way it's supposed to, your body becomes more efficient, your metabolism becomes more active, and your energy feels limitless. You're not just feeding your muscles, you're fueling your entire internal ecosystem. The secret to stopping muscle loss instantly isn't just what you eat, it's how well your body can absorb it. And once that system is restored, your strength, vitality,